The animated series Bob's Burgers has been running for 12 seasons and counting on the Fox network. With its continued popularity, this week sees the Belcher family hit the big screen in the Bob's Burgers movie, courtesy of 20th Century Studios. I've watched a number of episodes of Lauren Bouchard's show, and I found it amusing enough. Part of the humor comes from Bob dealing with the wacky behavior of his family, his customers, and the various other people living and working near the pier. Bob is basically the straight man of the show, and he fits that position well. Although the funniest lines tend to come from his youngest daughter, the rabbit-ear-wearing Louise, perfectly voiced by Kristen Schaal. Bob's Burgers makes for an okay diversion, so how does the leap to a feature film fare? The Bob's Burgers movie does feel like a regular episode that's been stretched to 100 minutes. The story, revolving around a sinkhole that appears in front of the restaurant and the children solving a mystery, is one that would have been more than fine as a 22-minute episode. At feature length, it drags and does not justify the extended runtime. Even the story structure follows that of a television episode rather than a traditional movie. When I think of the best animated movies based on television series like South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and Teen Titans Go to the Movies, they usually take advantage of the big screen format and try to do things slightly different than what you could watch at home every week. The Bob's Burgers movie mostly keeps them in the pier and with the usual conflict of Bob trying to sell burgers. The ticking clock of Bob needing to pay the bank is not as exciting as it could be. Of the characters, Louise is probably given the biggest and most meaningful arc. There's an emphasis on her hat and proving her bravery, and I thought that was handled in a decent manner, but I never became invested in what Eugene and Tina were going through. The Bob's Burgers movie opens with a musical number that helps establish and introduce the characters. It's a decent song, but it also makes one think the film will be a musical. However, only a few songs appear sporadically throughout the rest of the movie. The animation quality has been given a slight upgrade from the television series. There are a few scenes where the characters are a little more fluid and the backgrounds are given more detail. Humor-wise, there are some chuckles here and there, mostly due to the occasional funny line reading and physical comedy. Unfortunately, I also found there to be many dry spots, with many of the jokes not quite landing for me. There were not any bad jokes per se, but there were very few I found to be laugh-out-loud funny. Even some of the more absurdist gags, which can contribute to some of the funniest bits in the show, were underwhelming. When sitting through the Bob's Burgers movie, the main thought I had on my mind was, why am I watching this in a movie theater? Very little about the film felt cinematic to me, and I kept being reminded of the likes of the Hey Arnold movie or the Teacher's Pet movie, which were basically padded out episodes that found their way into theaters. With all that said, the Bob's Burgers movie is perfectly harmless, and you can sense Bouchard and his team were excited the opportunity to tell a longer story with these characters. I think if you're a huge fan of the show, you'll definitely like the movie. It is absolutely made for people who've grown to love these characters over 12 seasons. Their personalities remain intact, and the show's characteristic conversational style of humor and interactions between the characters has not been lost. The voice actors also continue to do a great job of playing these characters they've now grown accustomed to, with Kristen Schaal again as the standout. And even though the temptation was likely there, the movie avoids including big celebrity guest star appearances, instead relying on the same supporting cast from the television show. I just think when a television series is brought to the big screen, it has to be more than just a stretched out episode. To quote Homer in the Simpsons movie, it just feels like paying to see something you can get on television for free. However, if you are looking to watch an extended episode of Bob's Burgers, then you will probably be more than satisfied.